Welcome everyone, it's finally Ryzen time, AMD Ryzen 9 3950X. Yes, they exist, the wait was long and I would have had it a week earlier if DHL would have delivered it, but it's Christmas, so yeah. Just for Christmas Eve here arrived. Let's finally unbox it and take a look and benchmark it on Linux. From last year's mini ITX Ryzen build we are running a AMD Ryzen 2700 with 8 core 16 threads with a base clock of 3.2 GHz and a boost of 4.1, 65 watt and a level 3 cache of 16 MB plus a little bit level 2 and level 1. The 3950X of course has a base clock of 3.5 GHz, a boost of 4.7 and of course a much higher thermal design power of 105 watts. Let's see how this works in the mini ITX with this cooler anyway. Maybe we undervolted or need another cooler anyway. So not only twice the cores, twice the threads, higher base and turbo frequencies, but also a much larger level 3 cache of a whopping 64 MB for a total with level 2 and level 1 of course tiny in the kilobyte range there. A total of 72 freaking megabyte of cache. Certainly amazing given that my first 386 and Pentium didn't even have the total system memory of this, but yeah. So let's unbox it, plug it in. We also need to upgrade the BIOS because nowadays, of course, the BIOS also microcode for the CPU to actually work and all the voltage and frequency goodness. So a new AGESA updating this and let's see how it performs. Fortunately, a little bit stupid packaging here, not Fridays for Future with all this unnecessary oil-based stuff here, so that is slightly ridiculous. Actually, I would have purchased the box version with a cooler, but that wasn't available, so we took what we got. Yeah. So, of course, it looks the same as a 2700. Let's update the BIOS and see how that goes. So let's see. Hey, checkpoint also even works. Amazing stuff. BIOS update would be there, but we never changed the running system, so we are still running the original BIOS that came with Easy Flash Utility 3 maybe, via the internet. Greatest security, but anyway, not signed security whatsoever. So let's see, USB storage, let's see what happens. Storage devices, what? No hot plug, did it had to be? Yep, maybe no hot plug. So this is a BIOS here. Easy Flash, do you want to read this file? Guess so, huh? Of course, nowadays BIOS crazy large, 35 MB. BIOS information, ROG Strix X470i version 2901. Slightly wonder what we have. So maybe we have apparently 0601 from the 19th of April 2018. So processing, let's see. First time I ever update the BIOS on this board. Let's hope that works. I hope it actually checksumming this. You never know with this cheap USB stuff. Also, yeah, the recurring theme here stuff could be better, right? I wish they would have a checksum there, some signature, but yeah, that's not how we're doing security in 2019. And also, yeah, whopping large, right? 35 MB, I have 33, let's see, dots, yeah. So, and yeah, 2019 file browser and a BIOS. But yeah, certainly it needs to read the file system for EVE anyway. I will actually rerun the benchmark, so I already compiled this Linux kernel, the latest here, with this Ryzen 2700. It took some, I need to check 13 minutes or something, but we have the T2 build log anyway, just to see how this BIOS update, yeah, way over a year of BIOS updates, how this affects performance, might improve or ruin performance always with this random BIOS update, so we certainly check this out as well. LED firmware, you can't make this stuff up. Huh? Why did it show F2 or delete 4? It showed It showed delete F2 for BIOS and then still flashing. At least it's still booting. Please enter setup to recover BIOS settings. So I wonder what it changed. Maybe a lot. BIOS version 2901 that looks newer. Argesa brand string. So as you see, this is still the previous one. Slightly wonder if all my CPU settings are still there. I probably should have noted them down because I had this slightly overclocked. So I have the feeling my very specific settings are no longer there. Okay, so probably it's waste of time to benchmark this now because it reset here all the settings. So what a fail. So yeah, then we probably, before I restore all the settings, I didn't even write them down. This is of course hilarious now. But at least it's still booting. So much to the BIOS flash. So then let's open it up and plug in the amazing CPU. Of course, this compact server node a little bit near to work on, but that is also the case if you have water cooling and such. So yeah, the more compact or more water cooling, the more time consuming to work on, certainly. But yeah, good old tower case, certainly the easiest and spacious to service. Yeah, that is super compact and full, so actually probably can leave this plugged in. Molex connector is always not the easiest to come out there. So your application of thermal compound relatively okay, but this was pre-applied I think anyway, so we certainly need to refresh that. So still not the most convinced of this applicator here, to be honest. Slightly wonder, do we get this with the backplate aligned in the case? Certainly hope so, though. It's actually rather disappointing that this mounting bracket there isn't attached to the motherboard, so that fell down. That is of course totally unnecessary waste of time now that we need to get the whole logic board out of there just for the stupid mounting bracket. Speaking about stuff that could have been done better. This cooler mounting was already not the greatest fan when I first installed it. I really wonder what they were thinking here. I actually checked if there was adhesive that I overlooked the first time, but I didn't look like this. It could really be improved, that you don't need to take the whole motherboard out. Not really sure if others have adhesive there to glue this bracket on the backside, but yeah, somehow. But then again, most people don't switch their CPU so often, but in AMD land with some generations of upgrade possibilities, it would certainly have been nicer if that would have been avoided. Just a couple of minutes later, let's see if that boots. So now, again, all the nice cable management. Really a pity we had to take this out. So, graphic card, that should be enough to give this a try. So let's plug in keyboard power, HDMI, and hope it posts. Also this turned on already. Yeah, this stupid thing with auto power switch. Actually standby RGB animation. The stuff nobody needs, obviously. I think we should have everything, but yeah, we learned already from the previous build. This post takes forever, especially the first one, so I will only be wiser. The power to the graphic card is also not plugged in. Why do we still not have? Oh, why is the graphic card spinning up later? What? Why is this graphic card not fully in, or? Or is this posting so long that the fan is not spinning up before video BIOS initialization? Modern PC stuff. Hey, and we've post. Amazing stuff. 3950X 16 core processor ready to engage. New CPU installed, please enter setup to configure your system. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. F1 to. So then let's fine tune and dial in our memory and see how hot it's getting and what performance we're getting. So also our amazing 64GB of memory. So let's do here all the stuff. Actually, I think I previously had here some performance enhancer level something. So what would I have had previously? And because this is rather higher power, I actually wanted to undervolt this a little bit. So on the throttle limit gives us what number? Here is some undervolting. So core voltage, let's try offset mode here just a little bit less. Voltage offset. Where to put the also usability. Graphical BIOS yet usability. Let's save this and hope it still posts. Anyway, so we change here to actually, does it have an XMP profile or is it an Intel? Anyway, let's see what we're getting. Actually, so the graphic card fan really stops while booting. That is certainly good to know. Always good to know when diagnosing post issues. Dylan F2. Why is this always disabled so often? SVM. I just found some DRAM ECC enable. Maybe we should try whether this actually supports ECC memory, the board obviously another day. Let's try with the settings. So I offset mode here minus 0.05 volt just for test. SVM was disabled. Hot plug off some SATA ports just in case, always nice to have. Always wonder why this stuff is off by default. IOMMU auto, who knows what it is doing, so better enable. Let's see if we post and then boot Linux and benchmark it and see how we survive thermal wise with this certainly not most amazing cooler on there. And we are booting. Let's see how long we survive. So best with Ethernet as usual. Oh, many core CPU info scrolling takes a while. So let's see how still we are with this less than stellar cooling solution and minimal undervolting. Here, results in a second. One thing I immediately noticed, the fans go up significantly higher. What? Device is busy. Did we insmod this already? What? Device is busy at what the heck? Anyway, this was working previously. System I/O range, ACPI, native driver, something not provided found. What it has here? IT. Amazing. State of Linux. Anyway, certainly we need to enable more cores because previously we were building with parallel 16, now we have parallel 32. It's probably again that this K10 temp or whatever was previously doesn't have support for this, I guess. So yeah, the usual state of I really wonder why it's not the first thing they're patching, but whatever. Yeah, 32 GCCs because and also can't have dedicated CPU load because sorry, terminal is not big enough. But yeah, load average 12. Certainly quite some compilers running. If we have the scrolling, we BIOS the benchmark slightly. This is the speed of this log file scrolling by. But the more we have scrolling by, the more we waste some CPU cycles. Yeah, load average 20, that is pretty nice. Let's see, I mean, so far it didn't crash yet, so funnily enough, AMD writes here water cooling recommended, and we are using a stock 2700, cooler not included, liquid cooling recommended. So yeah, anyway. Certainly, probably next in T2 need to check if, actually we're also not running the latest kernel 5.2.11, but this is intentionally I did not want to update this before we have compared the performance here. Previously, by the way, this built here in 12.5 plus 3, so 15.5 minutes, and recurring theme here, everything, source getting larger, compiler getting slower, so I think I built this once in 11 minutes, but again this slipped already with larger kernel source and maybe some security mitigations. Probably right now we have some enabled, I would think. Yeah, Spectre version 1 and 2 and bugs here, sysreturn SS attributes, Spectre, yeah, also 2019 even, sysreturn, spec store bypass, so a little bit, yeah, there we have it. Also, how much do we have here? So TLB size, cache, so this is of course only level 2 cache. But yeah, certainly pretty. Also right now actually we can grab here the scaling. I'm usually running this on demand. That usually serves me well actually. So it says here 4.7 of, so we are mostly running here at 3.8 with a total load on all cores. Probably need to compare with other people what they are getting, but then again the Linux and Windows numbers might be slightly off and different as well. And there we have some initial results. You see the previous build just from before reassembling this, 12.5 minutes nearly, at least anyway, plus 3 minutes, so 15 minutes. And now we have here 50 minus 43, just some 6 point, here, not even a half minute. And when we calculate this, so we are more than 2 times faster. That is certainly really nice. Nearly 2.5, 2.4 something. Super amazing result, certainly. It is louder, certainly 105 watts versus 65, but twice the cores, more frequency, way more cache, and the results speak for themselves. Exactly why I was waiting for this skew here, not to have something less than that, because this is of course twice the performance. That is stuff that you notice on your daily workload of compiling the Linux kernel, GCC, CLang, which by the way we have a LLVM CLang update I think to test, but also Firefox, Rust, Cargo, KDE, GNOME, the fun stuff that we are doing on this channel. I hope you enjoyed this initial look here at these numbers, assembling it, and finally we can start through here to 2020 with more amazing open source stuff. Hope you learned something and enjoyed it, and I hope to see you soon for the next videos and fun to come. Here, as expected, performance numbers not amazing. I rebooted in the just compiled latest kernel, recompiled the kernel just for the test. You see we were idling at some 60 something. If we compile and load all the cores, then yeah, 94 degrees, certainly, yeah, you want to cool that better than with a stock 65 watt cooler from yesteryear. Maybe water, maybe something else fancy, but that's it for today.